You are currently looking at my Dr. Zlux. Not sure why he called it Zlux. I know some of the circuitry is going to be similar with the tubes, but the reverb chamber right here is very subtle. In fact, this whole design, I think, is more meant for someone who plays much cleaner, not drenched in reverb, meaning that it takes more, advantage of the cabinet vibrating as part of the sound, if you will. But anyway, I've had a problem for some time now. I noticed the power to the preamp tubes, which is 6 in number, they're inaccessible. I mean, I had to screw them out. I haven't done that yet. I'm afraid to put my hands inside of an amplifier. I know these are not capacitors, but I'm wondering, just to start off, if anyone can tell by looking at the power tubes if there's an issue with them. Now, the problem has been going on for a couple years now, and it just got really bad last summer. Basically, the amplifier had no headroom. It was all distorted and scratchy. I'll zoom in. I don't know how far. This is not the best way to test things, but then again, I don't really have too many means to test things. I mean, it still makes a sound if I were to plug a guitar into it, but it just does not seem to be working. Now, I'm not, based on some of the things I've seen, these tubes by sight, they don't seem to be doing anything unless I'm missing something. Extraordinary. Because I'm wondering, is it the preamp tubes? I mean, it wouldn't be a fuse, right? The fuse is here. I mean, if the fuse was dead, it wouldn't play at all, right? I saw the Dr. Z basically diagnostic tutorial on how to diagnose the problem, but like I said, I'm still squeamish about touching any part of this amplifier. Like I said, I'm just wondering if you can tell by this, or you really need to, see what happens when you take these covers off and look at the preamp. So what I was basically having to do is I would crank the thing and do that. I'm probably going to remove that sound. Seems to get worse. Where is it? Louder. Maybe too loud. Maybe this is the best I play guitar. I don't know. I don't know what to do next. I have no money. But I'm just trying to figure out how much it would cost. Because if all these are bad, it's pretty significant reinvestment right there, as far as I'm concerned. Um, Someone just gave me a new guitar. um, and I'd like to hear it through this amplifier. But if I were to plug in, which I could demonstrate in a minute, uh, it's probably going to have problems. If you have any ideas, I really can't take it to someone. Really can't. Really can't. The person's going to say, several $100 job, basically. I mean, should my next step be take these off and look at it, see what they act like? Like I said, I watched the Dr. Z video and I see, take all the tubes out, go test them. I don't have a tube tester or anything like that. I could probably use one. I have an organ over to my left that I need fixing, and yes, two of those tubes, they could use some testing. There's a lot of tubes in a Hammond organ. I can see ones that are obviously dead. I can look at them and see that they're dead. They're black on the bottom and just all sorts of bad things. They're not lighting up. I can understand that. But can you just tell by sight? Because I see a lot of people they're tapping on them. They're, just the volume. I got my master there. Oh, it's probably unhealthy to do this, right? I mean, that should shut off two of these tubes, right? Once it does it half. I've never observed it from the back. Doesn't appear to do anything. I usually always had it on full, because I was mostly looking for a clean, semi-smutty, sound. Your rhythm guitar, that sort of thing. I think that's month and date. Doesn't put a year. Can't see it. But I would like to have a working tube amplifier again. What do you call it? The guitar rig is a considerable drop off in quality. And this always got nice praise. The sound from other people. I'm saying, when I'm playing it, that sounds really good. See a little scratching. I remember when I bought it, one of the reasons is because some of my neighbors, they decide to cut their lawn while I'm trying to play guitar. Oftentimes I play guitar outside, and I bring my amplifier outside, and I usually had a small amplifier. I was using before then the last one I was using was an old Vox, mid 60s. Very, very dirty and smutty and needed all sorts of update, but it had no headroom at all. So it was basically like playing an acoustic guitar. It was louder than an acoustic guitar, but one of my neighbors, he thinks he's some sort of handyman. he would literally try to work on his lawnmower. He probably flooded the engine, even though he thinks he knows what he's doing. I'm not saying I know what I'm doing, but with lawnmowers or combustion engines, but he He couldn't get his lawnmower started, so he took his gas weed whacker, and he cut his lawn. I don't know if you know how much emissions are created by a gas weed whacker on full throttle the whole time. He was cutting his lawn for like a couple hours with a weed whacker, and it was disgustingly nauseating. Just total pollution everywhere, and loud as hell. And I got this for one of those reasons, because tube amplifiers, they don't usually quit. And they're not like solid state. They don't have that clip-in. They just keep on going. And their lawnmowers, even the ones that sound like airplanes, sorry, you're not going to compete. Most of the time I play acoustic guitar. And I avoided those people. I try to pick certain times, to play and practice under a nice shady tree. But sometimes I had to take this out. And this gave me plenty of clean headroom. But that's the problem right now. There's no headroom. There's nothing. It sounds like caca. This was so good. So clean. I started getting used to less reverb, less, because this reverb was higher quality than I was using a Soulmate Junior, which sounded very good, but you could tell it had some cheap parts in it. By the sound, this whole circuitry, the tremolo, vibrato, whatever you want to call it, it's so clean. It's not really obnoxious. It doesn't have that smutty 60 sound, although some people want that smutty 60 sound. It doesn't have that. It's very clean, very professional. And I want that again. I want to see what this new guitar especially sounds like through that. I always wanted, because I didn't have a Les Paul, even though this one has P90s. So, if you got any advice, I will certainly listen to anyone. I kind of have an idea. Ideally, you take it to someone if you don't know what you're doing, which I don't. But if anyone has any ideas based on looks, I can't get it too dark. I have seedlings started in the corner over there. Not this way, the opposite way. And they need their light. They need some water too. But so I can't get it totally crisp dark right now. Maybe I'll make another video. I don't know if this is enough. I don't know if you can. I can't get detail. My camera's another camera. The battery's gone. It won't hold a charge anymore. $5 whole bucks, free shipping from China, and it finally broke. I'm not kidding. The Canon. You try to buy the Canon one, probably have to pay $70-$80. And that one died first. I thought the other one was a backup. It lasted a long time, like 12 years, 12, 13 years. But that's the story. Dr. Z signing out.